What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Payne. Welcome back to another Outerplane video. All right, guys, we got developer notes and an updated roadmap and direction of development, which is huge. I love the communication between players and developers, and honestly, Smilegate does it the best. So let's talk about what GM Proxon has introduced. This is Moon Soon Hyun, the producer of Outerplane. First, I'd like to apologize for the inconvenience caused by various issues that have occurred June 7th update. The issues have been identified and will be addressed on June 13th update, or have been addressed. Sorry, and we will do our best to respond to any issues that may remain or newly discovered by potentially affecting and inconveniencing the player, right? In the development notes today, we're going to talk about a few different things. So short-term direction, mid-term direction, and then June, and then we're going to talk about the new units that are coming out in the future, as well as other things to discuss. All right, so updated direction, short-term direction. Primarily, we're focusing on resolving various issues remaining within the game and reducing gameplay fatigue. To that end, we will be reducing the difficulty of daily missions while also improving the sub of clear tickets and how they're acquired, which is massive. To me personally, having to finish 95% of dailies in order to get the daily missions done is quite honestly a hassle. So I'm really glad they're addressing this. And also the fact that clear tickets are super hard to get is another big problem. We'll also be reducing the difficulty of purchasing gear from the survey hub, thereby indirectly reducing the difficulty of progressing through hard difficulty. Additionally, with the recent addition of guild raid content, some quality of life issues have come to light regarding exchanging gear sets, and we'll be working to develop and implement a solution as quickly as possible. I personally, am not gonna lie to you guys, I don't like the guild raid content at the moment. I think it needs a full revamp. I'm not a fan of multiple teams, the 3 tries and all that jazz against the Gaius. I think that needs to be revamped and relooked at again. Good first crack at the bucket, but to me, still a lot of work that can be put into there. We're also working to improve various other elements throughout the game, and until we feel that enough issues have been resolved and the game is stabilized, we plan to continue releasing patches on a weekly schedule, which is, again, incredible that they're looking to continuously improve the game. So mid-term to long-term direction, we're planning updates that will expand the scope of available content in order to provide players more gameplay to enjoy and more objective to work towards. Key points for each month are as follows. In June, our goal is to introduce guilds to enjoy and gameplay objectives for individual players to the availability and additions of guild raids and league systems for Arena. We're aware of the various issues that are affecting guild raids. We plan to fix them as soon as possible in the next season and have more enjoyable and comfortable experience for the players. As there's not much time left in the month, we plan to focus on providing stable updates while moving forward, and that's totally fair. I always say that people need to test more, and I understand when you take from a test environment to production that not everything is going to be the same. So you try to create a controlled test environment as close as possible to your production environment, but it's going to happen sometimes where it works really well in test, but when you put in production, things just don't work as follows. And I'm glad they're identifying a lot of these issues and fixing them. Okay, so let's go to July. July marks the beginning of summer and the beginning of summer events. This will most likely come in a form of a new summer event story area. Furthermore, our May content update will feature expansion of difficult levels for the special request dungeons used to farm equipment. We also plan to expand the Archdemon ruins and challenge missions. They'll be added to the guide quest that will provide challenges involving new content, which is good. I haven't personally finished Archdemon Ruins. I still got to focus on those, just not enough time. And quite honestly, they are the most time-consuming part of the game, and there's just so much always to farm and do because clear tickets are not in abundance. So I'm glad they're looking into that. But there are some folks who have finished it, so new content coming down the pipe is always a good thing for players who are currently waiting and just doing the same old farming for gear, right? In August, we plan to update the story area of Season 2, Part 1. Additionally, hard, difficult, and dark light element raids will be added to the Skyward Tower to provide additional challenges for daring masters who wish to take them on. That's cool. So events to promote various in-game content will take place regularly on a weekly cycle following July 4th maintenance. The events will rotate on a per week basis and will consist of the following: increased raid gear drop chance and decreased crafting cost, increased acquisition of pieces from side story, increased acquisition of instigation points, increased acquisition of arena medals and gold coins and medals. Various other events such as hot time events will occur as well. There will be additional events outside of the fixed schedule. We expect to release event story dungeons at a rate of about 1 per month and estimate the volume to be similar or greater than the Reaper and the Gangster, which is an amazing event, by the way. It's so easy to get items from there. Easy to get currency. You can max out the entire store without much of an issue. There's like 11 days left, and there's still I have I'm almost done, to be honest. So it's a really good feeling for a casual player to be able to complete it without having to pay or worry about a time limit in order to get it all done. So kudos to them for that. All right, update summary. Many of you have provided us with valuable insight regarding inconveniences in the user experience and the structure of the game. With that in mind, we're preparing to do the following updates through to August. Please refer to the images below. So June, we know, and I announced this, so shout out to my boy who gave me this information. I did say Demiurge Stella will be coming out, so that's Dark Stella. So she is going to be the first special summon recruit that we have, not just the premium recruit, but it's going to be a special summon. So it's going to have its own currency altogether. And Hanbyo Lee is coming out. So in June, the guild rate has already been released. Event story has been released. Opening of the survey hub, which has been released. And then Demiurge recruitment event, which is going to happen on June 20th. We'll go look into that a little further. And beginning of the seasonal arena. And then in July, you're looking at Air and Men, or Mene, maybe that's how you say that. Guild rate season, so it'll be Sai. Event story Summer Island, expansion of the Arseem Ruins, expansion of special difficulties, request difficulties, addition of consumable crafts, and addition of Eva's challenge missions. That's going to come out eventually. And then August we have Notea and Astia, and these are all new characters. Guild Boss Season 3 will be Epsilon. Event story Off to the Summer Camp, Gardener of the Forgotten Paradise, addition of light and dark elements and special request, addition of hard difficulty of Sky Tower, and start of Season 2, Part 1 of Adventure Mode, and then plans of improvements, addition of Hero Recall, again that's the one where you can reset your hero and get all your resources back, decrease the battle fatigue of the Archdemons, which is great, improvement in gear obtaining difficulties, which is very important because that's endgame, addition of gear presets, that's interesting, I'm curious to see what that's about, addition of clear ticket obtainment, that's very, very important, separation level up and upgrade, alleviation of fatigue in daily weekly missions, again that's going to be a big one too, so less dailies required to complete the whole thing, and then renewal of UI icons. Okay, so recruitment and balance. Plans for new hero releases. We plan to release heroes at a steady pace of once every 2 weeks, which is very standard, by the way, guys. That's nothing new. The new heroes are being planned to fill in gaps in the availability of 3-star heroes of each battle type for every element in order to round out team compositions when building elemental teams. We plan for these heroes to have effective use in case of PvE, PvP, or guild raids, depending on their characteristics. So, I mean, common sense, right? So there we go. Demiurge, Stella recruitment. The highly anticipated final boss of Season 1 is scheduled to be added on June 20th. Given her iconic status of a character, we plan to introduce her through an exclusive recruitment under the theme of Season Boss Recruitment. Her targeted rate drop will be available for 3 months, so that players have a chance to recruit her without being too pressed for time, which I applaud. Demiurge Cell will be available through recruitment through a separate recruitment resource called Call of the Ruler, which can be purchased from the in-game shop. That part sucks. In order to provide a wider variety of opportunities to acquire Call of the Ruler, exclusive missions will be available to those who complete and provide 2 recruitment opportunities every day for 1 month following the update, up to 60 recruitments in total. So, if you have good RNG, there will be a good chance to get her. Demiurge Stella was designed as a light elemental bruiser striker. She displays outstanding performance in PvP and boss raids. Oh, she's not a dark. Okay, she's a light elemental bruiser striker. Interesting. Okay, I thought she was going to be the dark version, so she's the light elemental bruiser. Okay. Hero balance. Hero recall feature. The hero recall feature, as mentioned in the previous developer's notes, is planned to be introduced on June 27th. The name may be subject to change. This feature will be available through the hero screen. Using it will refund all growth resources used on the hero, with the exception of hero pieces and obtained exclusive equipment will be taken back. Oh, interesting. Slotted gems will be moved to the inventory. Codex, growth goal, rewards, and trust levels will not be provided a second time, so you can't get the extra crystals and bonuses. Does not apply to the exclusive equipment. This feature will be available for use 2 times and will be provided equally to all accounts. Okay, so new accounts included. Cool. So 2 times a month, I'm assuming, is what they're referring to. So make sure you're very, very cautious on who you reset, because it is very limited, okay? Hero balance adjustments. First, we have made adjustments to Rin and Alice on June 13th. Rin, the effective skill 1 and 3 have been modified to allow Rin to better serve a role as a damage dealer against fire elementals, or fire element enemies, and the damage of her burst 3 has been increased. Alice, the effect of her skill 2 and her exclusive equipment have been enhanced to improve her performance in PvP. Okay, so what they're planning to do, talisman adjustments. The talisman chain point action recharge effect will no longer activate from additional attacks. Does not apply to additional turns. Currently, Noa and Vera are the only heroes capable of recharging chain points, action points through method above, and therefore will be only heroes affected by this change. Because Noa damage increase proportional to max health is capped, we decided that there were largely no issues with her damage output. They're not wrong. Noa's actually really, really good still. However, we felt that her ability to reduce weakness gauge and recharge chain points through additional attacks and her chain were too powerful. So they are nerfing Noa, which sucks, like a lot. So take advantage of it now before they do the nerf. Okay, so essentially what that means, guys, is whenever she does the additional attack, it also affects the weakness gauge of the enemy. They no longer will allowing to do that. So it's going to be just one weakness removal. The additional attacks will only do damage, no longer removing the actual weakness gauge on an enemy, which really sucks. We plan to introduce these changes side by side with the recall feature to minimize any inconvenience players might have. So that's going to happen on the 27th. So you may, if you want to recall Noa, still don't recommend it, but you can. Additional adjustments. While Noa is meant to be a damage dealer effective at generating chain points, a critical element in clearing boss raids, we felt that dependency on her had become excessive, leading us to make the following changes. Oh wow, okay. In exchange, the following adjustment will be made to chain points generation as a whole. So it goes from 4, 5, 6, 7 to 4, 6, 7, 8. So okay, so they're giving you more chain points now. We expect this change to improve skill chain generation in the game, and in later dungeons, the players will be tackling with heroes on a single advantageous element. So they're trying to not make everyone rely on Noa, which most people are, by the way, still. Future balance adjustments plans. We plan to make changes after weakness gauge reduction in chain points for natural 3-star heroes. These changes are still under review and plan for them to be implemented between late June and early July. We'll do our best to adhere to development plans and outline developer notes. So there you have it, guys. That is pretty damn good. There's a lot going on here, a lot happening. So Outerplane continuing to improve the game and the quality of life of its players as well as the viewers. So I'm really happy to see this. They're making really good changes. That nerf to Noa really sucks for a lot of people, including myself, because I main her. But I think it's not the end of the world, right? Like, it does suck, but it's not the end of the world. I am curious to see how Demiurge Stella is as a unit when she drops. And curious to see how the recall system works. I know they've explained it pretty thoroughly, but you know, you don't see it until it's in game, and I'm curious to see if I'm going to be using it at all, as much as I think in my head I will be. So there's the developer notes, guys. That's number 2. So kudos to them. There's a roadmap all the way to August. I hope to see more of these, and I hope this has helped you guys understand what's to come in Outerplane. All right, guys. I'll talk to you on the next one.